Hey guys, and welcome to another one of my flight attendant videos. My name is Verena, I'm a flight attendant, and if you have never watched my channel before, I do both long and short haul flights. So I just did a video a couple of weeks ago about our crew positions on the A380, and I got a lot of feedback from you guys that you also wanted me to do a video about our short haul planes. So this video is going to be about that. I'm going to talk about all of our short haul planes that my airline has. So we've got the A319, the A320 and the A321 for our short range destinations. If you're working for another airline, your positions might be a little bit different within the cabin, but I feel like generally they're like this, but it will always depend on the number of seats that you have inside of your planes, because there are laws about how many flight attendants you need for every single plane depending on how many seats the plane has, and there are different versions of every plane, so there might be more seats on the A321 for your airline than there are for mine. It will always depend. But anyways, I can only speak for my airline and how it is for us flight attendants working for my airline. But I feel like it's gonna be very similar for most airlines anyways, so there might be slight differences. If you notice some differences, let me know in the comments below, because I'm really interested in how it is for other airlines as well. I mean, I've seen videos like this before, I talked to other flight attendants, but I felt like there wasn't that much about the A319, A320 and A321, so all of those are Airbus planes. If you want to know more about Boeing planes, I'm very sorry, because I can't tell you anything that you don't know already, because I don't work on Boeing planes. My airline at my base only has Airbus planes, so that's what I'm trained on, and that's why I know everything about those planes, but Boeing is just not in my portfolio, I guess. So anyways, let's start with this video. And again, don't make fun of me because of the graphics, because I did them in Keynote, because that's as far as I am with graphics. So let's get started. This is going to be our A319 today. So the A319 is our smallest short haul plane that we have for my airline. Now let's actually check it out. So we've got the flight deck in front. Usually we've got two pilots on our A319 plane. So the captain will always sit on the left hand side, and then our first officer will sit on the right hand side of the flight deck. Then you see one left here. So 1L means one left, since it is the left hand side of the plane, and it's actually door 1 right here. So one left is red because it's always the purser position. So on short haul flights, we do have a purser on every flight, and this purser for my airline is called P1, as in purser 1, because the purser 2 is the boss on long haul flights, and the purser 1 is the boss on short haul flights. So our purser sits here on the left hand side of the plane at door 1. We've got galley 1 here. So galley 1 is our front galley for the A319, and then we've got the position 1 right here, which is a flight attendant. Then let's move to the back. We've got one more position here. It's the 3 left position, which is also flight attendant. And then you can also see that there is galley 3 in the back, since it's at door 3. So our positions are basically named after our doors. So since this is door 3, we've got the 3 left position and the galley 3. So we've got 3 crew, as in 3 cabin crew on our A319 plane. So we've got 1 purser and 2 flight attendants. And that's basically the minimum crew you need for this plane. Our planes from my airline fit a maximum of 138 passengers inside of the A319 cabin. So you need 3 crew for that. So there are laws, and for every 50 passengers, you need 1 crew member. So that's basically the law. So as there are 138 seats on this plane, we need 3 cabin crew members. So you can see here's business class and here's economy class. Now this line should pretty much show you where business class ends, but it's not like this all the time. So for my airline, we've got a curtain here that we can actually move. In the business class, the middle seat, so our seating is 3 passengers on the left side and 3 passengers on the right side of the plane. And in business class, the middle seat is always empty. So that allows us to actually move the curtain, and depending on how many business class passengers there are, we can move the curtain to the front or towards the back. So that always depends on the flight, how much business class tickets they sell and stuff like that. But generally speaking, there's not a certain amount of passengers in business class or business class seats on every A319, it just depends. So that's basically it for our A319. The way service works is that this person right here, the 3 left position, will actually prepare everything in galley 3 and then One left and one right will prepare everything in galley 1, and usually the purser, one left, will do most of the things in business class, and one right might actually help with meals or something, and then move on to economy class. And usually the purser also helps with the drink service in economy class. So for our service in business class, they always have trays. Depending on the length of the flight, it might be just a cold platter, or it might be a heated meal with different kinds of bread rolls, and maybe there are 2 or 3 choices of the warm meal. And in economy class, it will either be a cold snack or it will actually be a warm snack. And our warm meals, sometimes there will be 2 choices depending on the length of the flight and the destination. So that's basically it for our A319. If there is in-flight shopping, then there is no one position that does in-flight shopping or does the in-flight sales, is in charge of it basically, but the flight attendants will actually decide whoever wants to do in-flight sales or whoever has to do it, because they're the ones on the bottom of the seniority list. That's basically it. Now let's move on to our A320 plane. So here you've got the A320. It's a little bit bigger than our A319. So we've got the flight deck again, so everything's the same here. Captain sits on the left-hand side of the plane and the first officer sits on the right-hand side. Then we've got galley 1, nothing's different here either. We've got our position 1 left and our position 1 right. And here we've got business class and economy class. Again, there's a curtain that we can actually move towards the front or the back, depending on the amount of business class passengers and economy class passengers. And now here we've got 2 flight attendants working in the back. So we've got the 3 left and the 3 right position. So this is galley 3 again, which means we've got door 1 here. Then door 2 would be our 2 emergency exit windows on each side. And door 3 is right here. That's why the positions are called 3 left and 3 right. So both of these positions are to work in economy class. So basically nothing really changes in terms of the service compared to the A319, but there's one additional person here because we've got between 168 and 180 people on this plane. So depending on which aircraft it is, because we have different A320s, we've got the A320, the regular one, and then we've got the A320 MAX that fits more people and has a smaller galley in the back and a little smaller galley in the front as well. But depending on which type of A320 it is, we've got 168 to 180 people on that flight, which means we need 4 people working inside of the cabin, so 1 purser and 3 flight attendants. That's basically it. And oh, something I actually forgot. So we've got emergency windows right here, so 2 on each hand side of the plane, and usually the 1 right position is in charge of briefing those people at the emergency exit. It's the same for the A319. I forgot to mention that before, but for the A319 we've got 1 emergency window on each side, and 1 right is in charge of briefing those people. They need to make sure that they are above the age of 15, that they speak either German or English, and that they are willing to assist in case of an emergency, and that they are physically able to actually evacuate the plane. Well, not evacuate the plane, but help with the evacuation basically, and open those windows. And then 3 right or 3 left will usually actually help 1 right with the briefing here on this plane, because it's just 4 rows that you need to brief, and depending on how many people are still standing around in the aisle, either one of them can actually walk up to the emergency exit and help 1 right. So the service is basically the same as I just explained for the A319. So let's actually move on with our A321, which is a little bit different. So that's going to be our A321. That's what the inside is like. Again, the flight deck is the same. The captain sits on the left-hand side and the first officer sits on the right-hand side of the plane. Now you can see that the galleys and the crew positions are a little bit different right here. And the A321 is actually our biggest short-range plane that we have stationed at my base in Munich for my airline. So we've still got the purser 1 left here, who sits on the left-hand side at door 1. We've also got galley 1, which is the same thing pretty much as on all of the other short-range planes. And business class and economy class is still the same too, as well as the service basically. So what you can see here is that we've actually got a 2 left here. So our A321 actually has 4 doors on each side of the plane. So we've got door 1 left, 2 left, 3 left, and 4 left. Oops, I just moved that. Anyways, and then we've got door 4 right, 3 right, 2 right, and 1 right here. So as you can see, we've now got flight attendants sitting at every single door. That's actually a law, a necessity, that there is a flight attendant for every pair of doors pretty much. So we've got our cabin crew position to left. It actually is on the right hand side basically, because the seat is basically in the middle of the plane but on the right hand side of the aisle, but it's still called to left. In aviation it's basically like this. Usually the most important doors are on the left hand side, so that's why all of the positions are first named left and then they're named right basically. So our to left flight attendant is actually in charge of door to left and door to right. Our 3 left flight attendant is in charge of door 3 left and 3 right, and our 4 left flight attendant is in charge of door 4 left and 4 right. And basically our flight attendant sitting at 2 left is working up front out of galley 1 together with our purser, and 3 left and 4 left are actually working out of galley 4. The service is the same as on all of our other planes, it's just a little bit bigger, more passengers. So the maximum of passengers is 200 on our A321. So there might be 200 people sitting in this plane, which is quite a lot of passengers considering that we only have 4 cabin crew members working inside of the plane. But it always works, so don't worry. We usually manage to get through our service. And 1 left and 2 left are usually in charge of business class, depending on the size of business class on the plane, because we've got the curtain again here that we can move up or down. So depending on the size of the business class and the passengers in business class on the plane, our purser 1 left might actually be in charge of our business class service by him or herself. And sometimes they'll send 2 left right back to economy class, but sometimes 1 left and 2 left will actually do the service in business class by themselves. And then 3 left and 4 left will do the economy class service until they get help from our 2 crew members up front. And sometimes on all of our 3 planes, we'll have an additional flight attendant who's usually sitting in the back of the plane. Sometimes up front on the A321, but on the A319 and A320, they'll always be sitting in the back of the plane. And that's just on longer flights where we actually have, let's say, a more demanding service type. So it will either be like 2 meal choices in economy class or something like that, with a flight time of like 2.5 hours to, let's say, Moscow or Tel Aviv. Well, Tel Aviv is a little bit longer. So that's basically it. And that person, like I said, will usually sit in the back. So here I'm just going to show you all 3 plane types again. So that's the A319. Here we've got the A320 again. And here we've got the A321. So that was basically it. Those were the positions, the cabin crew working positions on our short haul planes, the A319, the A320 and the A321. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I feel like I'm probably going to do another video like this about the 330, 340 and 350, because a lot of people have actually commented on my A380 video that you would actually like to see that, so keep looking up for that one. Probably in a couple of weeks time I'm going to post that one. But for right now, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it helped you understand more what short haul flying or short range flying is like. Make sure that you're subscribed to my channel and that you click on the little bell icon below so that you don't miss a video. Keep watching out for the new vlog on Sunday, and I'll see you guys then. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day. Bye bye.